it is Diaperperv and Diaperperv's husband. Yay. This is not actually the first time I've filmed with him. We filmed an older one that I just haven't released yet. So I know last week Luna and I talked about things to not DM us and how kind of not to approach us because you're not going to get a reply back. But what I failed to do was give you the tools and advice on how to approach someone and how to talk to someone. So that's why I have my husband here because
I'm old.
Because I realized he has developed a very unique set of skills that a lot of younger people, like people 30 and under that grew up with everything being online, you haven't developed yet, and that is being able to talk, to pick up and start a conversation with people that you just randomly meet. And he's had to do this because he grew up in an era where there were no cell phones, there was no
social
email,
media,
none of that, no internet.
Yeah.
And you had to do things the old-fashioned way, which was pick up girls at a mall or on the street or at a club.
Conversations, all verbal. You had to. So, what's difficult to translate between then and now is personality, right? Because online stuff, women don't really get to see your personality. Don't get to see who you are. So, when you're having an online chat with them, it's essentially just words, right? But your personality doesn't really get to shine through compared to where you're physically able to approach someone, have a conversation with them. They can see your personality. They can kind of judge you based on appearance, of course, unfortunately, but that is true.
Yeah.
And they can judge you based on how you approach them. So then they can make the determination like, okay, he's safe. I think he's okay to continue this conversation. Online, it's really difficult to do that because you're typing words, they're reading those words, then they're trying to interpret what you're saying, and maybe what you're saying isn't how they're interpreting it, so that leads to a lot of confusion.
Right, and it also leads to a lot of misinterpretation, like when they try to be funny and the jokes don't really translate the same way that you would hope them to, and so forth. And sometimes I feel like as a woman, you're more on guard about like unsafe or creepy people.
Yeah, I think the creep factor is much higher online because it's anonymous, number one. Anyone can pretend to be whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
So the creep factor is much higher. Whereas if I'm talking to you face to face, you're able to kind of gauge, okay, I think he's safe based on this conversation or how he looks, etc. But when it comes to the creep factor, you can bail. So if someone's giving you bad vibes, you're out person, face to face, you can say thanks, but no thanks, move on with your day.
So I want to start from the very beginning. Like, let's say that these people are going to their first event, whether it be a munch, a play party, or a huge event like a convention. So let's try and give them some tips on how to be confident and approach people and start conversations.
So one thing about confidence, that's hard to give to someone. It's either you have it or you don't, right?
So how can someone build confidence?
What you can do is build some confidence that gives you the ability to be comfortable to approach someone, right? And that takes time. That takes really some failures. It takes some success. It takes the ability to go back and say, okay, when I approached her, just being myself and introducing myself and saying, are you having a good time? Where are you from? For me, general conversation works. And when you're just having a general conversation, it's almost like you are sitting down having coffee, right? Where are you from? What do you do? All those general things that kind of open the door to extend the conversation. So I always like to call those the introductory period because that's what it is. You're literally introducing yourself to each other to determine, okay, this conversation might potentially be able to go further based on what I'm hearing or what I'm not hearing.
Okay, so let's say someone sees someone that they want to approach, right?
Yes.
And they're nervous.
It's okay. Nervous is fine.
Okay.
Don't sound nervous though.
Don't sound nervous.
No.
How do you not sound nervous?
Don't sound nervous. I think women tend to look at that as a potential no-go, because if you approach them and you sound nervous, you don't sound confident. I think a lot of women's going to look at that as a problem, right?
A problem. Yeah.
Meaning that they don't. Okay, so you know the whole stereotype of men, me strong, and we have to be strong, and all those whole stereotypes about men. I think women look for that initially when they meet someone. They want to see if that person can potentially be a protector if the time comes.
Right.
So
Subconsciously.
So if you approach them and you're stuttering and you're not confident, that's going to be a red flag.
So should they have eye contact?
So eye contact is key, but not creepy eye contact.
Okay, so what's creepy eye contact? Like staring like this?
Yeah, so if you what you want to do is make eye contact. If she make eye contact back with you and it kind of holds it for a little bit, then cool. But what you don't want to do is follow her across the room wherever she goes, trying to maintain eye contact. It's super weird. So just making an introductory eye contact. If she makes it with you, you make it with her.
And then should you smile at them?
No, don't smile either. That's super creepy. No, super creepy.
Should you approach right away?
No, don't approach right away. So if you make eye contact with her, she makes eye contact with you, things you don't want to do. Hold it forever, because that's super creepy.
And
smile. Smiling, sing, super creeper. So if I'm making eye contact and I just do a weird smile, I'm like, you're super creepy. Time to move on.
It's like that, like they can't see your face.
No, so no smiles at all. Just try to gauge if that person is sending back the same vibes you're sending her, right? And if you think that she is, time to go in. So you walk over, approach her. First thing you would do is like you were anything as you introduce. So, hi, I'm so-and-so. What's your name? And she'll say, hi, I'm Becky. Hey, Becky, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Chicago. Yeah, I'm from, Georgia. How long you been here? You having a good time? Yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. You're here with someone else? Or are you here with your friends? You're here with, who are you here with? Oh, I'm here with a couple of my coworkers, and we share the same fetish. That is awesome. How did that happen? Did you guys just come into a general conversation about that? So you let her lead, but then you fill in the gaps to extend the conversation.
That is really helpful. So back to eye contact.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Creeper level eye contact?
Okay, so maybe with the eye contact, maybe you shouldn't look them up and down like a piece of meat.
Who does that? Do people do that? No, do people do that?
Should you stare at their diaper right away?
Okay, number one, don't stare. Staring at anything is creeper level, right? I understand that you all share a similar fetish, but this is supposed to be a safe space, right?
Yeah.
So, staring, making any sexual innuendos, anything like that is creeper level.
Wait, so
do not do it.
Should they do this up and down eyebrow?
No.
Or lick their lips.
And so I also have another saying: know your audience.
Yes.
Right. And know your audience means know who you're talking to and if that's acceptable.
Yes, it's acceptable if I do it sometimes to diaper boys. I can do.
It may not be acceptable to them. Unless you know them and you know that it's acceptable to them, then it's acceptable.
Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that either. No, I don't think I do that.
No, you shouldn't be super creepy, old lady.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So we started a conversation. That's good. So what if they're too scared to go up to someone? How do you deal with
have
just
a drink,
being scared?
loosen up. If you smoke, get smoked out. Whatever it takes for you to loosen up, right? Because you don't want to approach super stiff. You want to just be relaxed. You walk over like a robot. Hello, my name is Bob. How are you today?
How does someone be loose?
It's got to be relaxed. Just relax, just flow. It's like, I am Walter. You just kind of just flow and be confident. But if you go over and you're stuttering and, you don't know how to do a proper introduction of yourself, then you're already behind the
Okay,
eight
a
ball.
proper introduction of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm so-and-so. You know what I wish people would do when they approach me at events? Lead with their screen name. Because I will recognize your screen name instead of your actual name. Because I don't know your actual
Yeah.
name. So I'd be like, hey, I'm so-and-so on FetLife. Okay, now I know
Right.
that you have an online presence. I could check you out if I want to.
Yeah. Screen names are good because that's generally how this environment works, is with that anonymous thing. Screen names, that's how everyone kind of goes by. So,
Yeah.
hey, I'm, Paul, but you probably know me as Diaperwear 242.
Pick like a really good catchy screen name and have it be the same over all the platforms. That really helps.
That definitely does help.
Okay, so it's easy for you to say these things. I feel like because you've always been this confident person. You played sports, you were popular. I feel like some of the people watching don't have that.
So, I mean, I get it. But it's something that you can develop, right? But it takes practice. It literally takes you getting out of your comfort zone. And that's the key, because this is all about comfort.
Yeah.
What you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. And for the most part, a lot of people aren't comfortable with doing this, right?
Yeah,
but you have
scary.
it's scary, but you have to get out of your comfort zone. Understand that someone's going to tell you no. That's okay. I've experienced plenty of no's and plenty of yeses.
Me too.
And that is perfectly okay. I have zero problem with it. But
Yeah.
what I do have a problem with is not attempting. So if I don't attempt, how do I know?
That's a really, really good point.
Everyone hates rejection, but it's okay. What it does give you is a blueprint to work with. Because you're going to realize, okay, maybe I can do something differently the next time I approach someone, and how I can do, and you're going to start to recognize these things and see that there are probably some better things you could do the next go around. And you're going to take notes. You're going to make note of the things that you could do better. Well, I walked over, I wasn't really confident. I felt a little shaky. So my introduction, I stuttered. And so those are the type of things you're going to start making note of. And you're just going to eventually start picking up and getting better and better and better.
So I have one suggestion, is to every day talk to a stranger. Like talk to a stranger in line at Target and say, hey, I've never tried this, but I was thinking about buying it. And it's a non-threatening environment to someone that doesn't really matter, but you still have to interact with them. Or just interact with your cashier and ask them a question and maybe start just even a 2-sentence conversation every single day. Talk to a stranger.
And it doesn't have to be legitimate. Meaning, you can see like a really pretty girl in the aisle, and you can say, "Okay, I'm going to pick this item up and ask her, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried this before? I'm just really debating if I want to buy this. I'm not sure, but have you tried this before?" And see what she says. Just a general conversation, and she could probably say no and leave it at that, and you're going to be like, "Okay, cool, thanks." And that's fine, but you might find someone who strikes it up and says, "Yeah, I tried it, but I didn't really like it." Really? So what did you like about it? And they kind of keep that conversation flowing that way.
And I find if you do that, then you're getting over the worst fear, which is the fear of the unknown. You've already done the approach. And it doesn't, if you're too nervous to talk to someone of the opposite sex or someone attractive, just talk to a random person. It
helps. I think
Yeah.
it all is confidence builder, honestly. It really is, because confidence is what you need in this whole dating game. It is
How do you gain?
because you gain it over time. You don't get it immediately. Like, I wasn't confident when I first started, approaching women. It's just confidence that you gain with successes.
Okay, so the successes gave you confidence.
Successes give you confidence, right? And what also gives you confidence are the failures, because then you know what you need to improve on, what I need to do better. Like, okay, I kind of creeped her out probably when I approached her and said, "You're sexy."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
No.
So don't do that.
No.
Even back then, that was probably more acceptable than it is now.
Right, but I feel like girls don't want to hear that. They
No,
just
no,
want-
I wouldn't approach a girl with a weird compliment.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, I love your hair." But that's something that you can build up to within the conversation. So as you're talking, you can talk, "Oh, I like your hair. It's nice." it's the creep factor is much lower because you've been there just having a conversation, and you say you recognize her hair. Women like that because they get dolled up for compliments.
Compliments are good.
Compliments are good.
Okay, and then earlier you said make her laugh, right? How does one make someone laugh?
All right, so that is a difficult thing to do. I'm just good at it. I don't know why. I think it's just confidence, number one. And I'm witty. Not everyone's witty. It's just, you have to be witty. You have to look for those openings. Like, I make fun of people. Not in a bad way. But if I meet a girl and we're talking and she looks really, really, really pretty, I'm not going to say she's looking really pretty. I'm just going to say, you had a little glamour shots, photo shoot today, huh? And she'll be like, what? I'm just like, oh, you're super glammed up, but you look really pretty. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I would use that in a humorous fashion.
Yeah.
So I think
you have to be quick.
You have to be quick. You have to be super witty. That's not something that everyone has, but it's something that you can learn by listening to the things that she says and hope there's a potential opening for a funny comeback that's not offensive, that both of you get and you can laugh at the same time.
Maybe watch a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
It does help.
So do you think that your skills that you have, your confidence, can lead into online interactions and how to start a conversation or pick up women online?
So I've been in both worlds. I started off, because I'm an old dude, without online dating. So we had to literally approach women, have conversations, talk to them. Then it transitioned into the world of online dating, to whereas the principles aren't really the same. Like your personality can't really shine through online dating. So you have to be really good with your words. And when I say good with your words, it means when you're sending that initial email or that initial chat request or whatever it is that you first introduce yourself. Hey, I came across your profile. I saw that, we share some commonalities here, and I wanted to reach out to see how's it going, or just something to that effect, to where it's super casual. It's not giving off the I want to pick you up vibe and go from there.
I like it when they share something about themselves, something interesting, and also make it known that they've actually read my profile.
Right.
Or they've actually looked at my pictures and picked up on something small.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about, you share something in common. So if you point that you share something in common, that shows to her that you've actually took the time to read her profile. And I say that with all genuineness, read profiles. Don't just look at pictures, because they take the time to write out that information for a reason. So read it, refer to it, use it to your advantage, because that's showing that you're not just looking at pictures. You understand that she might be super pretty, and that's important to you, but what she also took the time to write is just as important. So refer back to it when you're having a conversation.
How do you not be creepy online? Like, I see so many people writing, even on my YouTube channel, writing so many inappropriate things.
I think people understand how not to be creepy. I think people just don't care.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the social norms have changed a lot, to whereas being creepy online is a lot more acceptable now than it was maybe 10, 20 years ago. It's just the social norms. It's just like everything else. Anonymity gives people the power to be rude, the power to be creepy, the power to say things that they wouldn't say to anyone's face.
Should I, when I get creepy messages or creepy comments, like especially my YouTube channel that's public, should I call them out? Or should I say...
I don't think they care. My point is, they know it's creepy. That's why they say it. So they're looking for a reaction.
Right. I don't give them that reaction. I don't react to it. I don't reply back.
Most people are very in tune with what they're saying. So they know it's somewhat creepy. They just don't care. So they're hoping that you provide their reaction that they're looking for,
right,
in order to satisfy their creep factor.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that. That there are some people who are just creepy.
Yeah, some people are just creepy
to get a reaction.
To get a reaction, yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I would just say you're creepy and leave it at that.
Or just maybe delete their comments if they're super
or delete the comment.
inappropriate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
But most people know that. I don't think creep factors are different from online to offline. People recognize creepy when they see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been creepy online?
No, it's just not my personality. I don't do creepy.
Yeah, you're
No.
too nice.
No, I don't do creepy.
So we met online.
Yes, and I wasn't creepy.
No. So how did that happen? Like, how did it facilitate so well online? I mean, you posted a really good post. It
Yeah.
said something about your personality. You had good pictures up.
Mm-hmm.
I could see what you look like, and
Yeah.
and I know in ABDL you can't always do that, but there's still ways to curate good pictures to show your personality. So what you wear, that you're not sloppy, that
Right.
that your background isn't a
Right.
mess.
Yeah. So everything, like I said earlier, is an introduction, right?
Mhm.
It's an introduction to you. And your introduction to you is going to be how you present yourself to the parties who are viewing you. So that can be your pictures. Your pictures can say a lot about you. They can be super professional. They can be funny. They can be you, diving off a cliff. Your pictures are a reflection of your personality. That's what I like to say. And number two, when you write your profile, when you put it out there, I would say just be genuine. Don't try to sound like someone you're not.
Yeah.
Be who you are. If you're quirky, it's okay to sound quirky.
Yes, definitely.
You know?
People like that.
Yeah.
Because then you're funny. Well, what people don't like is desperation. I see a lot of, especially guys, saying, I need a mommy. I want this and this and this.
No, it's
Just,
desperate.
I want.
Don't
That's
be
it.
desperate. Women cannot stand that. That's horrible. If you sound desperate, the turnout factor is times 10 because you sound desperate. What you want to do is sound like, I know I'm a catch, and if you don't want me, that's your loss. Not arrogance, but confidence. So don't ever chase, ever.
Okay.
Because if you
That's
chase,
basically his rule.
no, don't chase. Don't chase. Let me tell you why you don't chase. Because what happens when you chase things? They run faster.
Or you can catch them.
Doubtful.
What?
Doubtful.
Or you can catch them.
You never
Our
catch
dogs
them.
catch things all the time.
Very infrequently, especially those things that are much faster than them. So, I don't believe in chasing because I believe there needs to be a balance, right? There needs to be a balance of, I'll chase a little bit, but you need to be available for me to catch. But if I feel like I'm doing all the chasing and there's not a reciprocation in return, then I'm going to stop chasing you.
And
That's
it's
my
a one-way
point.
street. And how do you know when a girl is not interested in you?
See, that's another problem. Women have to tell you that in a way that it can be a letdown, and that's fine. Most people aren't mind readers.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can catch hints. Not everyone are good at catching hints.
They're not.
So for me, it's just you have to be direct. I have to be like, oh, sorry, I'm not interested. You're super nice, but I'm just not interested.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think you can let people down, in that form or fashion, but people have to say that.
People have to say it. I think a lot of women aren't good at saying those exact words,
Because
and they'll
men
just
can be-
ignore
Because
them.
men can be rude, because
Yeah.
men
Mm-hmm.
will turn that around
Yes.
and make it about
Yes,
you.
yes. And I've seen that even if I don't answer a DM,
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, "Oh, you think you're all that?" And they're so rude.
Yeah.
Stop being rude.
Well, and that's their lack of confidence, because to them, your denial speaks volume about you and not about them. But then literally they're giving you the exact reasons why you said no by their response.
Oh yeah. Well, then they reveal who they
reveal
are.
who they are. Exactly, which confirms your decision.
Yes.
So you have to be okay with rejection. It's going to happen. Rejection is a part of it all. Now, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
I was not everyone's cup of tea. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I eventually found the person whose cup of tea I am. So, which is most important.
Okay. So after all this being said, with him being able to pick up girls at the mall, whatever, when he was younger.
Wasn't the only place I picked up girls.
Okay, where else?
everywhere. Malls,
What's everywhere?
movie theaters, clubs, bars, all the
Okay.
places where
Okay.
your single guys go hang out.
I've never been a part of this
Well, of course not.
because you never use those skills on me.
I didn't have to.
What is that supposed to mean?
As it means because we met in an avenue where that wasn't a need.
Oh,
I wasn't at a bar trying to pick you up. It's
Oh.
a big difference. Yes, it's the difference between online dating and going to a bar and trying to pick up women. When that's solely your goal.
oh.
When you're young, that's literally solely your goal.
All right. Do you have any last words at all?
I would say go forth and put it to use. Don't be afraid. Be confident. Gain confidence over time. Rejection is going to happen. Don't let it beat you down. Get back on the field. Get back in the game, as we say, and get back to it. And lastly, don't be creepy. Don't be rude. Just be yourself, your personality. Let your personality shine through. And if she's feeling you, you'll know. Because she'll do things and she'll touch your shoulder like, oh, you're so funny. She'll do little things to give you hints that, okay, she's feeling it a little bit. So cue on those. Good luck, everybody.